it happened. Sorry to be so dramatic there, but this is going to be part one of a two-part video series. The second part is in the process of being recorded. It took a whole bunch of research. It's going to take me a little longer, but I try to get one of these videos out every Thursday. So I'm just going to give you a little peek as to what it's going to be. So I started to notice a real shift as an agent who's on the ground, who focuses on selling properties for sellers, not necessarily working with buyers, unless they're my sellers or past clients. I am really paying close attention to what's going on in the marketplace and time on the market, number of properties on the market, number of offers per property, number of sales, amount of sales price realized, those kinds of things. And about a month ago, I started to notice a real shift in that space. Then a little while ago, maybe a week and a half ago, I noticed that there were some changes in the way that buyers were approaching potential sellers or putting in offers based on the amount of competition that was out. That led me to do some research and find out. And I always do this really my goal is kind of do this every year, the first Sunday of June. I do that date specifically because it's not a weekday where a lot of administration stuff is happening, properties being on and off the MLS. It's kind of a stable date. After school, beginning of summer, sets us up for what summer is going to look like. The first Sunday in June is kind of my marker. I do this again in October. And this year, we have 2 times as many properties on the market as we had last year. Okay, that's not a big surprise. Everybody knows there's more properties on the market, but last year was nuts. Here's what's concerning. And this is what led me down the rabbit hole. And this is why I'm going to make this bold prediction I'm going to make in just a minute, which is going to be followed up in this next video. While we had 200% more listings, we actually had fewer properties under contract. That's right. The first Sunday of this June, we had twice as many properties on the market in this marketplace where people can't even find homes to buy, and everybody's freaking out because there's not enough homes on the market, and they're paying $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 over sales price. You can list a house for anything you want to list it for, and it sells, right? That's what we all think. Yet there are 2 times as many properties on the market this beginning of June than there was the last beginning of June. And there are actually fewer, I'm not talking by percentage, I'm talking hardcore numbers. There are fewer properties sold this first Sunday of June than there were combined the last Sunday in June in 2021. That's concerning to me because what it tells me is that while demand is still high, it's not insatiable. I still think demand's super high. I think capacity of demand, which is a term that I use saying that describes people that want to buy but have the capacity to buy. The definition of market value is a willing buyer and a willing seller who are ready, willing, and able to complete that transaction. Well, a lot of us are ready and a lot of us are willing, but are we able to? And what I'm finding is that there's a significant portion of the potential buyer population that's just not able to complete a transaction right now. That's why I think we have way more properties on the market, and it's only increasing, and fewer properties under contract. So I'm going to watch those numbers really carefully, but that's just one metric. I have key metrics in about 12 or 13 other areas that I think are critical. And the big announcement I'm going to make in this video is I think we're going to see toward the end of summer a beginning of a 20, 25, maybe 28%, maybe even 30% correction in the marketplace. So call it between 20 and 30% correction in the marketplace. And I'm about 85% sure that's going to happen. The other 15% is that one of the things we learned over the last few years is we were supposed to have a recession in 2019, time-wise. But the reality of it is the government intervened with rent foreclosure and eviction moratoriums. They infused the economy with a whole bunch of free money for a lot of people. They buoyed up the economy and increased the marketability of houses with continued abnormally low, artificially low interest rates. So the government can do some things to mitigate this. If they do, that's why I'm giving this an 85% chance of happening, because there's a real possibility that the government is still going to come in and quantitatively ease this process in one way or the other. We just saw how they, through policy, can make a massive change in the economy. We all know what's going on with inflation right now. We all know what's going on with gas prices. The highest gas price I saw yesterday was in Northern California. It was almost $10 a gallon. Everything that you have on you right now, and all the food in your refrigerator likely, and everything in your home was brought to you in one way or another on a truck. So the price of gas makes a huge difference in our overall economy. But we've seen how the government can, through policy, decide that we need to curb inflation or we need to make a change in the market, and they can raise interest rates. The rate you would have had in January at 2.75, 2.8% is now 5.25, 5.5%. And I'm going to talk in this next video about that, how that really plays out in a buyer's marketplace, where how much more money a buyer needs to be able to earn in order to just buy the exact same house they would have bought in January. It's staggering, by the way. And that's the difference. That's the difference between having a ready, willing buyer and a ready, willing, and able buyer, which is what's going to make the difference in this marketplace. So it is going to slow. We are going to see some shifts in the marketplace. How much and how fast is kind of anybody's guess, but my belief is, and I'll share with you this little spoiler right now, that by the end of summer we're going to start to see some major corrections. Certainly in the next fall and winter, it's going to be pretty dramatic. And the end of that story really is, if you're giving any thought to making a move or putting your house on the market, you should probably do it sooner than later, because worst case scenario, you lose what the experts are saying could be 3 to 5% appreciation in the next 12 months. Best case is you don't lose possible 20, 25, or 30% correction in the market. So if I sent you this video, it's because I want you to watch it and the next video. They're important. I think we got to prepare for this. I think it's going to make a dramatic change in the makeup of the real estate industry. I think we're going to potentially lose 3 or 4 or 5,000 agents in the city, which isn't a bad thing. I think we're for sure overbought on agents in the city. But there's some interesting things happening. I'm gonna, you know me, I'm gonna stay right in front of it and give you all the good details I can as they come. So, all right, so that's a teaser, part 1 for this video. Part 2 is coming up in a few days. It's just taking us a little while to film it and make sure we have all the data right. So, look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks. Have a great day.